Good morning and welcome to another video. Now if you don't know me, I'm Andrew and I do videos about railway photography. It's one of my passions. Now I'm up in County Durham today and it's a walk along the Durham Heritage coast from near Seaham down towards Hartlepool, and we're going to take in three denes. There's the Hawthorn Dene, Castle Eden Dene and Crimdon Dene, and across each of these valleys there's a great viaduct. So plenty of railway activity as well, because the East Coast Main Line is closed today and all the East Coast Main Line traffic is diverted on this Durham coastline. So come on, let's see what railway photography we can get. Just down the coast from Horden Colliery is Blast Beach, named because there used to be a blast furnace here at one time, and is made famous as being the prisoner scene in Alien 3. So the first shot of the morning is going to be at this crossing at Hawthorn Dene, and I'm going to get a Grand Central coming across the viaduct, coming from King's Cross to Sunderland. And I think I'll stand up on this railing here and try and get the shot of the Class 180 coming over the viaduct and try and get some of the sea in the shot as well. So just before I get to Hawthorn Dene Viaduct, there's a southbound Azuma, and I'm thinking of getting a shot. If I include the bay there and the sea and the train coming around the corner, I think that'll make a nice view. So I'm going to get set up alongside the line side here. And now I'm filming this with a 10mm lens on, and it does get the train and the beach, but on my camera I've got 24mm and I just can't get the train and the beach into one frame. So what I'm going to have to do is do a panorama. I'll do some vertical frames and I'll get a vertical one of the train coming around the corner. When it's gone, I'll do a number more frames around and try and get some of the sea and build it into a panorama of sorts. So let's see how that one works out. We've got a minute or two before the train arrives. Thankfully in the Dene, Hawthorn Dene, it's a little sheltered from the wind, and it gives the first glimpse of the viaduct and what a fantastic structure it's looking. What do I know about it? All I know is that it was built in 1905 when the Durham coastline was built. There used to be a line inland, and but the original inland line between Hartlepool and Sunderland was a real challenge to operate with two severe inclines. The North Eastern Railway constructed this coastal route fairly late in railway terms, opening on the 1st of April 1905. Right, now I've climbed up onto Beacon Hill for the classic view over Hawthorn Dene Viaduct and the bays and looking up to Seaham. And it's blowing a flaming gale up here. So there's a couple of Azumas and I think a Grand Central. So I'm going to look for whatever composition, but I think it's the classic composition that's been done many times before. But let's see what I can make of it. So this is Castle Eden Dene, where Castle Eden Dene runs into the North Sea. And 30 years ago, this coastline here was one of the most polluted coastlines in the world. Further north, round Seaham, and where we were earlier on this morning, has been cleaned up. This section still has a remnants of its industrial past. There's still scars of colliery waste coming down the cliffs, and this all looks very industrial. This spot here is between the old Horden and Blackhall collieries, and just behind me, a little bit further down the coast, is the old aerial flight used in the final scenes of the 1971 Michael Caine film Get Carter. So it's not your seaside beach, isn't this? And I'm glad I found some of this old industrial Durham coastline, because I thought it had all been swept away. So this is Horden Viaduct across Castle Eden Dene, the largest of the 3 viaducts along the Durham coast here. This one's, I think, 10 arches, 60 foot wide, quite an impressive structure as well. And I'm going to find a composition of some sort. I think you can climb up on the sides here, so I'll see where I can find. There's a couple of trains due, a couple of local ones, so see what I can make of those. And there might be an Azuma as well that hopefully I can get in a shot. Now I've just checked on my phone, there's a light engine class 37 following that unit down, so I haven't got a lot of time to find a new composition, and I don't quite know where I'm going to go. So I'll have a look round and see what I can do for this 37 that's coming. Now we've got an Azuma coming, and I thought I'd try and frame something up using this bridge and the dried up riverbed somehow. I was hoping to climb up there, but I shot up one of those hills, got to the top, and it's covered in trees, so that's not the site to go. So this will have to do, I think, for this one. So this is Crimdon Dene and Crimdon Dene Viaduct, the 3rd of today's viaducts, and the most southerly is this one. Now there's an Azuma in about 10 minutes, Edinburgh to King's Cross, heading south on the near track, so I'm going to try and get a photograph of that if the light holds out, and then head back to the coast, because there looks to be some fantastic opportunities right down the coast. You can see Hartlepool and Teesside and what have you, so we're going to have a look at that in a moment or two. Now I've just spotted this bit of driftwood, so I'm going to use this as some kind of foreground, but I'll need to get low down in the grass with a viaduct in the background. And the Azuma is on its way in a moment or two. It's in the next signal section, although they are long signal sections and they end up being waiting forever. Anyway, I'll use this as foreground and get set up and see what I can make of that shot. I've had to retreat back to the shelter of the car. It's blowing an absolute gale outside. But the shot I had in mind was to look down the coast towards Steakley Pier and Hartlepool with industrial Teesside in the background, and hopefully get a train coming up the coast. And as good fortune would have it, there was an Azuma coming north just at the right time. So I was fortunate that I could grab that and got quite an interesting shot, I thought. So there you are. I'm hoping you've enjoyed those 3 viaducts down the industrial heritage coast of Durham. Hope there's some decent photographs, and if you've enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, and I shall see you on the next video. Cheers, bye.